since we got some more people in here, we can go ahead and get started. Jay, Eli, thanks for joining us today. Really excited to talk a little bit more about Oceans Explorer. But first, before we get into the project, I want to know a little bit about you guys. So, Jay, if you could start out, maybe Eli follow up after. Just give us a quick little rundown on who you are and how you made it to the Web3 space.
Yeah. So, I guess entered crypto 2015. Spent a lot of time trading. Primarily, I wrote some trading algorithms that have done well for themselves. And then before getting into crypto, I was big into like sneakers and other collectibles. So then when NFTs started becoming a thing, it was like, this is the same thing as a rare sneaker, but pictures. And I was like, this is fun. Dove into it, fell in love. And then my co-founder, one of the co-founders, Vinny Lingham, who we met playing video games, we were like, let's do our own collection. And he's a VC in the space. He was a seed investor in Solana, which is going through all their stuff right now. But so that took us here. And then about 3 or 4 months ago, brought on Eli, who I've known for about a year now through NFT degenning. And I was like, hey man, I need someone on the strategy side to get this to be like a top tier launch. And now here we are in MVHQ with myself and Eli.
Right on. Eli, you want to go ahead and give us a rundown quickly?
Sure. Is my audio good or am I quiet? Jay said I'm quiet.
You're quieter, but by no means can we not hear you, I don't think.
Okay. I will project my voice.
All right. Love it.
So yeah, I got into crypto 2017. I was one of the, I bought a bunch of ETH, well, a decent amount of ETH, and just got kind of really involved in the system, but didn't have like a community to kind of bounce ideas off of. But I was actively trading. I was one of those guys that was like on the weirdest exchanges, buying 1 Satoshi coins and trying to flip them for 2 Satoshis at the like peak of the bull market.
Sure.
Which actually was a pretty good strategy. It worked pretty well for me. And then, when the bear market hit, I kind of just forgot about crypto for the most part, went back to my consulting job. And I just kind of I was very bored with it. I just didn't feel challenged and it felt very stagnant. So I decided that I was going to switch careers like at the beginning of 2021. Spent like 3 months playing Call of Duty and doing absolutely nothing and just kind of letting my mind unwind from the decade I had done in my previous job. And then got invited to join this DAO called FWB. And got really into DeFi and then started minting NFTs. Right around I minted a Crypto Citizen in person. That was my first NFT. And then like a week later, I was getting 6, 7, 8 ETH offers on it. I was like, holy shit, what? Like this is a wild space. So originally just like speculating on NFTs, but then as I just kind of dove deeper into the ecosystem, became really just enamored with the whole thing. And started, being one of those guys that had 25 Discords, 25 MetaMasks, that was like during the whitelist metas, doing all that stuff. And then as I kind of got more involved in it, I started getting tapped to do like strategy and consulting because I was just so in the space. People wanted to kind of get ideas from me on how they should launch and all that stuff. And then started getting into Sol a little bit with some like Catalina whales and some other random stuff and realized like gaming wise, you can't really play a game on ETH. I mean, there were times where you could do really well on them. I actually joined MVHQ during the Wizards and Dragons mania, thanks to Hirsch and Americanicusson. I was like, hey, these guys are really on top of it. You should get in there. So and then, just was talking to Jay over the summer and he had this project. He wanted to kind of get to market and wanted to kind of build up a strategy around it, like a gamification to make it more engaging as opposed to just like, hey, here's some NFTs. So started working with Jay and Vinny on this project and that kind of brings us to present.
Excellent. Well, I love to listen to everyone's journey here because for some reason, I think we all there's the camaraderie of the space. I feel like we all kind of just assume everyone's gone through the same thing we have, when not everyone came in through Top Shot like me or like some other people. Other people found NFTs through other means. So love to hear founders and project members journeys. So thanks for that. Well, without further ado, let's get into the nitty gritty. Give us a quick overview on what Oceans Explorer is, what it isn't, and maybe what it's trying to do in this space that's different than other things.
Yeah, so Ocean Explorer it's an on-chain digital strategy game. It's a map-based strategy game. So basically, the UI will be you are hovering over different parts on a map, and you'll see different expeditions that you can go on to earn 2 of the in-game native tokens we have, or coins. They are not going to be tradable. They're not going to be speculated upon. They're just for the game. EXP rewards and doubloons. You'll also, when you're hovering over these different expeditions that are, ranging from anywhere from 1 hour to 1 week, it'll show you the curse probability. So, if you're going on a treasure hunt, a lot of times you're going to find good stuff. Other times you might get cursed. It might be a cursed treasure. So if you find cursed treasure, your advancement through gameplay is essentially paused until you figure out a way to get uncursed. So that's kind of like the overview of the game. We have it's going to be 10 unique different factions, and each explorer has 6 attributes, 3 physical and 3 mental attributes. So the expeditions will be gated by which faction you are, which is like pirates, surfers, deep sea soldiers, the unknown, and then also gated by the attributes, whether you have high stamina, strength, speed, intelligence, etc., etc.
Okay, got it. So, can you maybe explain a little bit more about the multiplayer aspect of this? Like, is this a game that we're playing by ourselves, or you mentioned factions? Is there a multiplayer element to this?
Well, so yeah, it's not PvP. It's you competing against everyone else, in the sense that the idea is, after season 1, which will probably run for about 2 or 3 months, the top 5% of players are going to be rewarded with a new NFT. And that NFT will give them access to like an exclusive kind of alpha Discord channel, or alpha Discord, that will have all of our partnerships, and they'll have a say in voting on which direction the project goes moving forward. So it's not PvP in the sense that you're you're going to battle with someone else, but you are competing to see who has either the highest EXP rewards at the end of the season, highest doubloons, and then there's a couple other ways that you can actually win the game, quote unquote, win season 1.
Got it. Okay. Well, can we get like a quick breakdown of the characters, right? I mean, I'm sure you mentioned these different factions, and I think you said Surfer is one of them. Can we maybe get a breakdown of what the art looks like?
Yeah. Actually, if you go to Office Hours chat, I'm throwing a few samples in there.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
Since you mentioned Surfer, I'll throw in the one I made for myself here. It's a surfer, and I'm a fan of nouns, so I threw some noggles on me. So what you see is Eli. He's got the flamingo tube. That's part of the cruise faction. So we have kind of corny cruise line characters. And then below Eli, you have a deep sea soldier, which is kind of like this made up underwater society.
What do you mean they're made up? They're not made up. That's real.
Yes, very real.
Atlanteans, yeah.
And then we have a Coast Patrol faction, and this is actually a 1 of 1, the girl in green. It's a green samurai. That's one of my favorite images to come out. Yeah. And then that's me and the surfer. I custom made the noggles with my squiggle. So it's a squiggle noggle, and then my surfer guy. I'm going to pull up a couple other factions while we talk here. But this is the artwork, full body, which is rare in the NFT space. We kind of wanted to switch it up because everyone's got headshot PFP. We wanted to kind of expand it to something more versatile.
Yeah, and you mentioned you made this one. These are still randomly generated, right? You're saying that you put those on yours, correct?
Oh, so all of these I custom made for like team members. I'll throw in some random generated ones to give you an idea of like that too.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure what the method of like when we mint one of these boys, is it going to be something like God, I can't remember the project, but they were ducks where you could make your own trace and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure.
In this case, no. They're all random.
Okay. Then no disrespect there. That's kind of the expected at this point. I just wanted to make sure that I was getting that right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of minting, when are we talking about? When are we hoping that this project launches? Obviously, I keep talking to projects that's like, hey, we don't want to, the market's been crazy, and after the past 3 days we've had, the market's gotten even crazier. So is this something that you guys are still hoping to release here soon, or is there a delay?
So yeah, half and half. We spoke with our team yesterday, and we were like, main problem being Solana's huge in the FTX ecosystem, and a lot of users can't even withdraw from their exchange right now. So we're looking and we're like, all right, we dropped, this is a free mint, but if someone wants to come in and buy some, there's a good chance they might be locked out and lost all their money in FTX this week. So Vinny and Eli and I were kind of talking, we're like, yeah, let's let this dust settle. Probably have to move the date because the market in this condition, it's just like people aren't thinking about NFTs right now. And then on top of that, which this is kind of the cool part, Metaplex, I don't know if you know who they are. They build Candy Machine on Solana, which basically all the NFTs are issued through that. Eli and Vinny, they met them out in Breakpoint in Lisbon last week. And they're coming out with a new royalty solution in 4 to 6 weeks. And it sounds like they want us to kind of be like their featured collection to implement their new like royalty method. So what was going to be a November 14th launch date, we might push back a few weeks depending on how soon their royalty solution gets pushed out. Because we'll be actually using their brand new Candy Machine V3 and potentially their royalty solution.
Okay, so in with ultimately bad news, there's always opportunities ahead that present really great ones. So it sounds to me like kind of a silver lining here. Yeah,
I think so.
That's awesome.
Also, we were trying to figure out, we were like strategizing on what to do, and we looked at like the base schools model where they minted an extra however many NFTs and put them in a pseudo swap pool, and that was kind of very new and exciting when it happened. And so we were looking at maybe we mint, instead of 10,000, we do 11,111, and we fund a Haid swap pool with our NFTs to kind of have some, because we're a free mint, we really just want people playing the game. I think something that's lost often is that people need to have fun doing this, and like fun is the driver of retention in the space, either fun or speculation, right? So we just want a lot of people playing. But when we talked about doing the Haid swap, there were some legal issues. You basically become an AMM and you become an art dealer. And so that our counsel said, hey, that's really not a good idea. So then, when we talked to Metaplex and they said, we're pushing out these new royalty standards, that was kind of, I was like, wait, maybe we do that instead. Maybe we just be a little patient and we partner with Metaplex to be their their flagship launch with the new royalty solutions. Yeah.
Well, that's neat, guys. That's interesting. And it seems like a really cool, neat opportunity. But let's jump back into the game aspect of it, right? So we got a strategy game here, right? Can we talk a little bit more about just the gameplay elements of it. Wanted to make sure that I understood. Obviously, it's a strategy game, but maybe run us through exactly, how we're going to be playing it and kind of what makes the gameplay elements of it fun. Because in this space, there are quite a few games, and very rarely are they quote unquote fun. So, how will we be using you girls' game to kind of have fun here?
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be a relatively simple game at launch. It's going to be, the decisions you can make are these expeditions you can go on, which are essentially different staking contracts of varying time and different rewards. And I think, to me, the fun part is more just figuring out how to maximize efficiency through how to optimally play the game. I mean, our spreadsheet for what ideal gameplay looks like is extremely in depth and pretty potent. So I think it's not going to be fun in the sense of we're going to PvP against these other people. But if you get enough people excited about participating in the game and you're competing to see who can maximize their EXP and maximize their doubloons, that's kind of the fun of it. So you'll have to, determine the probability of getting cursed, which of these missions makes the most sense if I want to maximize the doubloons or the XP. And then another thing we're going to be doing is dropping these treasure hunts with clues on Discord and Twitter, where you have to kind of determine which expeditions you have to go on in what particular order in order to get a larger reward than just going on other expeditions. So it's definitely more of a board game, strategy game type thing. It's not going to be 3D PvP, but we have some pretty grand plans for the future. Or Vinny has pretty grand plans for the future already.
Yeah, and I'll add on that, like the first iteration of gameplay, it's meant to be like strategy based, and it's also meant to kind of sift through the community and figure out who's in the top 5% most valuable to the game. And that gives us this like newfound group of core explorers that can then expand on this like journey and mission with us. And then beyond that, the art team that did all this artwork is Concept Art House, and they're a large art studio who work with EA Sports, Epic Games, you name it, doing artwork for them. And James, the founder of Concept Art House, who's partnered with us, they own equity share in our company. He helped build the first Star Wars video game. So we've kind of set ourselves up to be where these initial ocean explorers are, I don't know, I've described it as like, think about like the first design of Yoshi. Yoshi was like 2D pixelated little green frog or whatever he is.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur, yeah.
Dinosaur, Jack.
And now you have Yoshi playing Mario Kart and doing all this stuff. We look at this kind of in the same way. We have the team and the investors behind us to piggyback the success off this launch. So in a year, if we're doing well and there's demand for it, we have the art teams and the connections to actually build out like full scale games based off this original collection of Ocean Explorers. And I think that's something a lot of these collections don't have, especially from the start, where we're set up for a very, very high ceiling with the artwork and who we're partnered with. And that's very cool. And I can go into more, but I don't want to like say more than I should. But I think that's the cool thing about this artwork. It's like you get the artwork, but you're also getting basically like the backing from a well-respected gaming art studio.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's awesome and exciting as well. And for those of you out there wondering, if Yoshi has a full name, it's T. Yoshasar Muncha Koopas. So if you ever wanted to know what his full name was, that is the official full name of Yoshi. But no, back to you guys. Sorry. Uh, love to know that there's a serious backing here. So that's great, and getting kudos to you guys. Not seeing any guest questions come in. So guests, if you're listening to this and you want to ask a question, go ahead and ask in guest questions. But we'll wanted to ask, what exactly would one person want to do if they wanted to be a little bit more involved in learning more about the project, getting involved in the community, things like that? What would your biggest suggestion be?
Simply just come into our Discord or follow us on Twitter, shoot us a DM. I think we're always looking for kind of like the people that are excited by it all. Because what I've found out this week, there's a whole market of verified NFT influencers that have 50,000 followers that I've never heard of, that are complete scammers, and they jump in their Discord and they're like, we want to help you. So no, I think we're kind of just looking for core game players that are degens and kind of want to try out all this stuff with us. And, if you have any interest, hop in and we'll just go on this journey together.
I also just posted our website, which if you click, it'll have like the civic integration. And if you click on the about part, it'll take you to our Git book, which goes a little more in depth in all the different factions and, our docs team and gameplay and like percentage chance of different expeditions you can go on. So it doesn't, not percentage chance, but high, low, medium, that kind of thing. The percentages are still, proprietary information, but it gives you a little more detail on like which explorers can go on which expeditions and all that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that looks to be like a very good resource there. So, guys, if you are listening to this later on, which I assume most of you are, you can find that information timestamped around 1:25 p.m. And today is November 10th. My dad's birthday. So wish my dad a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Pops.
Yeah, there you go. Well, awesome, guys. Just to kind of wind things down here and not take too much of your all's time and everyone else's time, I want to make sure that we get in something that maybe we didn't talk about that you guys are excited about for the project. But if you feel like we've kind of covered everything, want to make sure that I give you guys kind of the quick little platform here for the pitch, to the quick pitch to kind of end things off. So I'll go ahead and give it to you guys.
Well, one thing I'd like to discuss really, really quickly is just like the minting experience. I know we're in the application meta and we've gone through the invite and the spamming Discord, all those different metas. We don't want to do that. It's just exhausting and it's annoying, and I've done it obviously for a long time on the consumer side of things. So we're doing a public mint as the first part of our minting, but we're using this company called Civic that has this proprietary thing where you essentially, it captures a few data points from a face and confirms that you're a unique person. It doesn't KYC. There's no like address or name or anything. It's just verifying, hey, you're a real person. And then it gives you a token to be able to mint in public. So one of our main things is Solana mints especially are extremely botted. And that just takes away, a lot of the supply and makes it so not a lot of people can participate in game. So we want to make sure we're getting a really good distribution. So it'll, you can mint on the first wave before anyone else if you do the civic verification, which is on our website. And then it will be people, our MVHQ partnerships are in there as well. FWB, Monkey DAO, GGen8,
FTX.
like some different. What's that?
I said FTX.
Yes, FTX members. if you don't withdraw from FTX, you're on the first wave. No, I'm just joking. So yeah, we just wanted it to be like we want to just get people playing and not have people grinding and try to get a good distribution initially.
Yeah, and alongside the Civic Pass, basically owning a MVHQ membership is also kind of like proof of a real person. So I think we allocated 250 Wave 1 slots to MVHQ, and that's I think that raffle is ongoing or ended. I don't know. Ryan, do you know?
It's ongoing. It's ongoing.
Gotcha. Let's say no. I do. They don't tell me anything other than here's the info on the project. Interview them. So no, I'm not a part of the inner backings, but I'm pretty sure it's ongoing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's ongoing. And basically everyone who wins the raffle gets a Wave 1 mint, and then I think we're sending out a pre-mint maybe. Where if you hold MVHQ and you give us your Solana address, you're automatically entered for the Wave 2 mint.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we really just want like real people, real communities involved in this, and MVHQ is a really good example of that. I mean, just happening in your Discord for the past 30 minutes, it's like there's actual engagement, which doesn't happen, especially this time of year in the bear market. So you guys have like a community of real engaged audience that like we really want to have. Minting, it's a free mint, so we're not asking anything. If you've never used Solana, make a Solana wallet, mint with us. We'd gladly have this be your first Sol NFT.
And it would be mine, so I'm excited to be a part of it and try Solana for the first time. So,
yeah. Oh, another quick fun thing that we did that the Solana Breakpoint Festival or event, whatever you want to call it, was in Lisbon this week. So we had myself and Vinny and some of our developers were there handing out whitelist tokens. So that would be that's something we left off. But if you were there and you had an interaction with us and were curious about the project, we had these little things called tip links it was a QR code that you would scan, and it had a whitelist token and a little bit of Solana in it. So you could send it to your public address from there. So that's the other way you can mint, is if you were at Breakpoint and hanging out with us.
Oh, that's really cool. I love that you guys are out there active in communities, like real communities, to get the word out. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our key priority is just engaging with real people. I don't know if you know OK Bears. They're like one of the top collections on Solana.
Rivers won't let me forget about them.
There was a wallet that minted like 300 OK Bears, and we're just like, we can't have that. You know, if we want real people to join this, we can't have a wallet with 300 because they botted it.
Yeah. That's good. I like at least the foresight there to understand like what it's going to take to make your all's community successful, because you're right, like communities like that aren't necessarily always the most fun. So good foresight there. So, well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure talking a little bit more about Oceans Explorer with you guys. Really excited for the partnership. Really excited to mint my first Solana NFT, and excited to see you guys, build this here in the bear market and have some success. So I want to thank you both for your time and the conversation. And everyone here listening today, thank you. Anyone listening to this later on, thanks for staying through. You guys rock. And we'll go ahead and end it here. Again, Jay and Eli, thanks so much.
So one last thing, I'm going to screenshot the people that are in here right now, and we'll give all of you guys Wave 1 mint list for being here live.
Oh,
so even if you don't win the MVHQ raffle, you're locked in. And that was the screenshot noise. So
we can tell, we can see it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks again, Oceans Explorer team, and we can't wait to see what's good.
Awesome.
All right, later, guys.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan. Take care.
Bye.